That's just how it goes. Okay, dogs are property. And so you have property that's able to freely go over to people. Like if her dog went over to him, even though they're on bed, he went the other day. This handicapped biker, goes down this road, and this pit bull runs off his property and or right up to his property line, right, and goes to bark at him. It didn't look like he was gonna bite. It looked like he was gonna bark at him, but he like straight pepper face right in the dog's face, and he has like this whole video of him just like spraying different dogs, a whole bunch of different dogs, just run up and then he just sprays them in the face. And I mean, like, I think that's fucking horrible, but also they're on public land, and once if it was, as long as the dog was on private property and then that guy did that guy would be in trouble if he pepper sprayed my dog property. But as soon as that dog that he owns goes on public property, walks up to him, like, sorry. So that's up to her. I guess that gets like dicey, but ultimately she has to control private property. So that was his point. Put your dog on a leash because this isn't your private property. And that was her consequence. So that's what she needed to control. I don't agree, like, for him to, mess with the dog, but also he was trying to make a point, so,
really could have been listening to this story better, because now I'm like hooked in and I don't really understand what happened.
So she's a girl and COVID, and she needed to walk her dog, and she had a dog that needed a lot of exercise, and the dog parks were closed, or you could keep them isolated and fenced in. And so she brought him to I guess it was the public park, Monica?
It was Central Brambles, and that dogs had a leash because they disturbed the birds. And Christian Cooper was a bird watcher. You know the story, Deputy. It's one of my Nick Sandman story, where people are treated poorly because of a 13-second clip taken out of context. Lives are ruined because. Good morning, Gary. Because an ugly.
Wait. Okay. Okay, so she took her dog to a park. It was COVID. Dog parks were closed. She took her dog to a regular park and
on a leash. And Amy said, the dog runs are closed for COVID. He needs exercise. Dog on the leash. No, he needs exercise. I'm going to do what I want to do. And Christian says, well, if you're going to do what you're going to do, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and you won't. Here, puppy. Dog treat he keeps in his pocket for when he harasses other dog owners that have their dogs off leash. He keeps dog treats handy.
I think it's a perfect check to say it's not your property. It's
So what about this treat? Was there something wrong with the treat? Like, I'm trying to get to the meat of the story.
Don't feed on my permission.
Then you control.
I don't know what you're going to feed him.
Right.
Is that a biscuit?
Was there something wrong with?
Was there?
Like, I'm still trying to get to the.
So, because I remember this happening. I remember when was this happening. I remember this was happening. I remember this. We were talking about the same thing, because what that woman was doing, is like she was in the brambles. Everybody knows in Central Park, your dogs can't be off leash. Everybody fucking knows this. This is like everybody talks about it. We're all gonna check each other too, because this is New York. And so when that happened, that woman, she then puts her dog on the leash and then starts like grabbing her dog, so poking the dog because she's like flipping out. And this man who's on a
He's
bicycle.
video recording her. No, he's recording her.
He was on a bicycle. He was going through the park. He's doing this because that's what you should be doing. That you should be collecting your evidence and saying this person's not following the rules, because everybody knows the rules here. And I'm calling the police. This black man is threatening me. So yeah, she's getting a lot of backlash because the way she treated the situation. Do you have an article on this? It's all happening.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a lot of missing in here that we're not talking about, because I think that whole scenario turned into like this kind of like race bait, even like it was like a race thing that turned into ugly.
So, but I mean, so what? He gave the dog a treat. She didn't like that he gave the dog a treat. Like, was it a poisonous treat?
No.
I'm just find out like
Wasn't a
what.
poisonous no.
The dog a treat, and what? The lady didn't like it and decided to flip her shit, and he videoed it. It went viral. She was painted in a bad light because she's pissed off because the man gave her dog a treat.
Yes, and because she wasn't following the rules.
Okay, well, she was 1,000%. Okay.
Don't feed my dog.
Keep your dog
Don't let the dog off leash.
No, facts.
Don't let the dog off
Wait, hold on. Wait, you said you didn't hear others say that she should have put her dog on a leash when he asked her the first time. Yeah. Put your dog on a leash. Don't be a jerk. Don't be an asshole. And then a stranger feeding my dog without my permission. You guys are okay with that? Because I'm not.
A stranger letting their dog off leash without my permission, I'm not okay with that. That's how people get bit.
Okay, so this is what I need us to do. I need us to have the understanding that they were both jerks. And that's not what I'm hearing from you guys.
I don't think a jerk, because if I was being called out for having my dog off leash, and I'm that kind of fucking bitch that I don't like being told what to. That's the kind of bitch we are here in the city. And then this person starts feeding my dog. Yes, I'm gonna start using this scenario, him feeding my dog, and now demonize this man so that it paints me better light. That's exactly what fucking happened. She's a cunt for that. I'm sorry. He's cool. He's fine.
She got death threats. She got her dog temper taken away from her. She got fired. She had to sue. A person being an asshole, she broke the law by having her dog off leash. She videotaped her dog being off leash, and then he should have left it alone. And if she called the cops because he was videotaping her in a public space when you're allowed to be recorded in a public space, then she would have gotten a fine. And he would not have been, well, actually, he wasn't harmed at all. He was 0. And he got a nature show on the Nature Channel, a bird watching show on the Nature Channel.
Are you missing the part where when he begins filming her, she's now grabbing her dog so tightly at the leash where he's being choked. The dog is being choked.
Right.
When he's swung around, the dog is being like swung around. I remember when this was happening.
Me too.
It was happening.
Me
But
too.
it's also here in the city. I live here in the city, and like it was huge news here. And so the video is this dog, who's a poodle, a large dog. She was just sitting. The dog wasn't running around. She was just sitting. She was not around. No, you were sitting. Okay, and then this person comes.
I don't think you're remembering it. Let me get the video footage.
And she's choking her. Yes, first of all, she's a irresponsible dog owner, letting her dog off leash in a public space. She should not have an animal. Her dog should be confiscated until she gets retrained on how to be a proper adult to an animal, or proper responsible parent to animal or guardian. So that's one. Yes, take the dog away. Getting fired. The reason why she's gotten fired and got a lot of backlash is because she called the police and said to a man who was just simply standing calmly, speaking and recording, this black man is attacking me. And I don't know if you know what was going on during that time. The whole Black Matter thing, George Floyd, Elijah McCain, all the things. He's saying Elijah Wood, I keep saying that. Elijah McCain, all these things were going on. So yes, instead of bluffing, saying, "Oh, he fed my dog. This is the reason why I should turn up now," she should have leashed her dog, said, "Thank you, sir, for keeping me and this community in check." But she didn't. She escalated the situation. She's 1,000 times wrong. What up, Gary Boo?
Hey, good morning, Gary.
Hey, I have a perspective on this. Um, when you do something against the law, what should be the consequence? And did she get the consequence? Or is everyone here thinking that she kept her dog unleashed, and so damn it, we should just it's canceled and all of this, like having her dog off leash, whatever the consequence should be, it's not always what gets enforced. And the issue with dogs here is, if your dog's off the leash, or if you're calling the police if somebody's taunting you, or whatever, like, the police aren't always going to enforce it because more issues to deal with. So, I don't know. So this is why people will continue to misbehave, is, it's not, I don't know, but what's enforced is not always appropriate. I have a friend who was just mauled by 3 pit bulls, and she went to court, actually ruled against her getting any kind of compensation
Why?
for her job. Yeah, for not being able to do her job, and so she was out of money for a while. And I don't know, it's like the court was not enforcing the fact that the guy who let his pit bulls on the loose should be. That guy just didn't have very much money, and that guy was living. Even the person who owned the home that had the dog that let them have a fence ultimately wasn't. They couldn't find him or something. Like, the courts can't always just enforce what's appropriate, even when called by dogs, almost to the point of death. Like, and so I think the problem is, can we at least make sure we're enforcing the laws appropriately? And I think it's a bit unfair to this woman, but of course, she should have been fined for having her dog off the leash. That's what I think. Anyway, that's it. Okay.
So a couple things to that. I understand if you don't have a fence, but the whole point of having your dogs off leash is you could control. If that was the and the dogs were not on private property, if they were on private property, then sorry, she got what's coming, and I don't feel bad. But if she was not on their private property, and these dogs did that, as much as I'm a pit bull lover, and I hate to say this, those dogs should be taken because she had in that to execute all of those dogs that were attacking her. That's not up to. So he lost and he relinquished his rights reciprocation for those dogs because that happened because they went off property. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm very consistent, and that's one thing I'm consistent about. So that sucks that they didn't rule in her. That's nasty. If at least she didn't, he couldn't. It doesn't matter. The dog shouldn't. He shouldn't be able to have the dogs and whatever else. That sucks. With
Right. It's public property. She was just walking down the road going home, and these dogs came out of nowhere on a public street. And you're right. The court did take the whether they euthanize what happened, I don't know. But the issue is also, should or the property owner also have punitive damages to pay for the fact that she was like cut up and had to heal and wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That's his responsibility.
Didn't rule it. She's gone quiet. She knows other friends. She's in a very dark place right now. She's still healing. I donated a lot of scar gel to her. I had it shipped to her on Amazon, and she was really appreciative. But like, she expected the judge would appropriately. But that's, I mean, like, they took the dogs away from the guy, which is like what they had done, and on to the next trial. So I think the issue here for me is, can we always have an ideal enforcement of the law? It's just messy. It's very messy. And especially with dogs, because I think dogs end up not being like, well, people screaming at each other, who's at fault, who should get fined, should someone go to jail, should someone lose their job, and is it a community? Like, everyone here is fired up against that woman. I get it. She brought to the picture. But did she really deserve to lose her job? I don't know. So anyway, that's all.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. Yeah. She got her. I'm not arguing why people will send death threats to people. I think it's just so fucking terrible. So, would I be like pissed off enough to give her death threats? Absolutely. It's terrible. You should never do that. I don't know why these keyboard ninjas do that. However, if she had all, if she was in a place that's required leashes, none of this would have happened.
When did you hear me make the argument that she should have kept her dog off leash?
When did you make an argument that you said that she shouldn't have her dog on leash? When did I say that?
By not scenario.
Because I didn't say the whole thing, you made an assumption about what I said about you?
No, Vero.
I don't understand.
Look, I need to know what your Vero patience level is at, because if we're low, having the conversation. My point was never that she did the right thing. My point has always been she was a jerk, entitled and privileged. She didn't apply.
Right, and I agree with you, and I knew that you were saying that from the jump. I don't think I ever questioned that. Never once did I question that you said that. But how people react,
Yeah.
in this whole, like, imagine you're alone, a woman, a man is yelling at you. She was fine, Holly. She was fine. She was in the middle of the very quiet place. People sit and watch birds. It's very commonly used space for this. Dogs do come, they're on leash. She was in the wrong. I don't care how afraid she was. She was fine enough not to run away. She was fine enough to put her dog on a leash, choke it around, call the police.
That wasn't fine though, Vera. She was upset.
Leave. I mean, I don't know. You can't. I don't know. She don't belong here then. If you can't handle something like a scenario where you're breaking the law and someone tries to correct you and you can't handle that, then you don't belong here.
Video recordings.
I'm glad she's got recorded. I'm glad she did, so we can see what kind of character she had.
So this is the problem I have. It didn't tell the whole. It was out of context clip. Joe threatening her, and he threatened her.
Threatened her. Well,
if you do what you want to do, then I'm going to do what I want to do, and you like it.
I don't think so. I don't think that's it. So it's
here, puppy, here, and off.
Right there.
A dog, a treat.
Right there. I just want to share this with you. So if you're maximum, this is difficult for me to argue against, because one, laws, okay, and definitely if something's public, right, and I'm participating in the taxes, and then you're gonna have, like, I want to be percent, and a matter of fact, I've done it, and I don't give a fuck what laws there are if I could control my dog, and that's the whole point. And she couldn't control her. If you're gonna put your dog, your dog has to follow commands to avoid something like that. That's the whole point. There has to be some level of decency. And my dog would bounce, and then it kept going his way, and he was out of eye view, back to doing what we're doing.
Period.
Right? and then that's just it. But she didn't have control of her dog. You can't, even in parks where you can have your dog off leash, if you can't control your dog, you're a problem. She was a problem. When we dogs can obviously be off leash because that's part of the whole thing. If you can't control your dog, you're a problem. So ultimately, she was the problem.
You sound like a Karen.
Which one of us? Because we all
Your mother.
we just heard three different. We're all thinking which one and which position.
We are. I think we're
Okay, one of you guys also sound like a
the
Karen.
only
Well, I
kind of
think let's see what he
agreement.
has to say.
I mean, I swear to God, this guy's got a PTR where he's about to sit on a glass and ram it up his naked ass. Like, why are we even entertaining him?
Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
There.
Bye, bitch.
Mother.
So spicy for 6:45 a.m. Hello, am I the only
So
one?
I honestly, I think the only thing we're disagreeing is the fact that I think Christian threatened her and her dog. I don't like
Check.
offering.
Yeah. Right, but that was that check, right, on her. Right, because if he was there, and let's say it's us. Let's say all of us, we go in the mornings to watch these birds, and this girl brings her dog off leash, and the dog is disturbing the birds. Say, okay, we can't, but if we dog over, that's her check. Okay, so if you're gonna do what I don't like, I'm gonna do the same thing back to you. But see,
1,000%.
now the Uno reverse would have been if she could control her dog. We would have then, she would have been able to go about her day. But that would have actually, required her to be a responsible dog owner. And clearly, I hate to say this, oh, you're threatening my dog. The way that she was choking her, I would never.
Listen. Yeah,
I
she
would
exacerbated it by that.
Baby would never. Gosh,
Broke my
I
heart.
would
Well, your baby have discipline. Her baby
absolutely. My dog never.
mannered.
Exactly.
So
My dog never.
he was going for the dog treat and the pet from a stranger. Like the dog had no discipline.
My
that's
dog,
a
but
normal thing here too.
He was still the best behaved of the three people, the three creatures involved in that incident.
You want to hear something, Monica?
Oh, go ahead.
It's sorry, bro. I'm excited about this. I'm proud about this. I even she went everywhere with me. We went. How many times we got in trouble, but we went. It didn't matter. But it was kind of like a trouble. But I was always good. I was decent, and I always controlled her. So we never had any type of. I've never had a involvement. But I mean, there were plenty of people that told me to put her on a leash and blah 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 blah. I would satisfy them for the moment, and then as soon as they left, I would go about my thing. But one thing, when we would go to public places where other people wanted to give her treats, and I was very particular about what type of treats, and she would not take a treat from she knew stranger danger. She would always, whenever somebody would go to hand her her treats, she would look at me and wait for me to say, "Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what you're saying. Like you have a good relationship, and you can. That's what it's supposed to be like. So I mean, I don't know. I feel bad that I wanted to get her dog exercise, but I feel like she's bare minimum. I don't know.
Yeah, the Brambles is not the place for exercise even. The Brambles is a small enclosed place with lots of trees, falls, like little small dogs can get hurt there, which is why they are required to be on leash because they have been hurt there. So she's being a very irresponsible. And just to get away from that though, like to widen the scope, there are probably more irresponsible dog owners in New York City than there are responsible ones, well trained, not only with being just like calm and all that. It's very uncommon here. A lot of Animals here just don't care.
One thing is I have to go to work and I'm going to leave the room, but this has been a fascinating conversation. I wish there were a club to follow, but this was just not club. I want to
There is.
Monica.
There
I
is.
also want to propose. There is. Cool.
Yes.
I just didn't see it in the top. Sorry about that.
No, we'll add
But
it.
I would bet all of you money that the dogs are and talking among themselves on like which owners are the ones. They're all, especially the ones in Browns right now. Okay, anyway, I gotta get to work. This was a great room. Thank
President Gary, I'll send you a link in the back channel for the Gox
Okay,
Next
thanks.
House.
Take care, everybody. Have a great day.
Deputy, you want me to advertise Snatched or the Political Playhouse? I think Political Playhouse would be better, actually.
I'm fine with either. He seemed normal.
No,
I'm fine
Gary's
with
great. Gary Bone, he does music rooms. He's interviewed posers and things.
Yeah. I'm good with either one.
So I think if anyone listens to it's like an hour long. It goes really deep that Monica shared. It gives you a really well-rounded perspective on the entire situation, down to the temperature of the climate, like how people were at that time, at that situation. It brings up multiple who, by the way, black guy that's doing this whole episode. Just side note, but it's very. I went into this thinking she definitely sounds like she's kind of racist, and maybe there was some bias that brought into as being had that adrenaline pumping. She said what she said, but after listening to about half of this episode that Monica shared, like, it's pretty clear to me that it's Christian problem. Like, he used the same playbook with multiple people. Many people said they felt threatened by him. He was also holding the helmet in a way that was a little threatening. It wasn't just Amy that said that, by the way. Many others who did not know Amy had expressed the same thing, that were afraid to come out, actually, because they're white, too, after this became, like, a big thing.
Didn't you say that this video was her perspective?
What video? No.
The video that you're talking about? Was that her perspective video?
Her for a hot second, but he goes into, this guy is completely unbiased. He's just covering the entire.
Do you think that there would have been any story to tell whatsoever if the woman had been a real dog owner and kept her dog on the story? It starts there. Yeah, I'm sure this guy was a prick to her. There's no prick to her, and when he asked her to put the dog on a leash and she refused to put the dog on a leash, he doubled down. There's no question about it, but I don't think this is a black-white thing. I think this, hey, your dog should be on a leash, put your dog on a leash. Yeah, fuck you. My dog's to run around and I'm going to do what I want to do. And he doubled down and was, you're going to do what you're going to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't know. I think the whole thing starts because she doesn't have her dog on a leash.
Agreed. And that's not what I'm arguing. Never argued that she should have kept her dog off leash. My argument. We see this all the time. When people are recorded in public spaces doing things that can get misinterpreted, then it goes viral, ruined, because people don't look at what happened before the video started playing. They don't look at the context. They look at the situation. All they see is some work, and it's okay to hate on those people because they're known to be jerks, and they don't look for the rest of the story. And so she got called Carol Bryant, that she was trying to get him killed by police because police murder black men in America. The whole narrative
She big back.
way out of proportion.
She
It went
big
viral.
back.
And people were judge, jury, and executioner.
Used her dog.
She,
In the vein of all of this.
aggressively
She abused her
demeaned
dog.
her dog. She was stupid.
Yeah.
Let go, man.
The man she did not know would feed or take her dog. That's a huge problem for me.
See,
And all of
Really
that,
does.
all of that would have been unnecessary had she just leashed her damn dog, and she didn't.
exactly.
So unnecessary for it to explode
So-
like that.
I think she was stupid, foolish, and I don't think she should have deserved her dog being temporarily taken away. I don't think she deserved death threats. I don't think she should have lost her job, and Beeman disagreed with that.
So
What
I
was
think
her job?
Christian was a jerk too.
Or something?
she was very passionate about animals. I don't know if she was a trainer, but she was very involved in like animal welfare and stuff. I think he might have been a puppy. But what her excuse just
Not a poodle
Okay, I-
either, a cocker spaniel, but
okay.
It's just time is so stupid. We're gonna read a book, ladies and gentlemen. This is the John Kitover Show. Let's warm up with a little music.
now ye shall know that the chosen
It's the same stupid Monica show every time. It's called No. I'm not a Karen. I'm just a normal, good, law-abiding American. I'm not like a Karen.
And in his woman called the glad woman is all power given. They shall gather my children into their fold. They shall bring the glory of the stars of men. For the sun and shield is the winged secret flame, and to her the starlight, but we are not so chosen. 18 burn upon their brows, O splendorous serpent. 19, oh, as your lidded woman bends them 20 of the rituals is in the secret word which I have given unto him.
My friend, we're making fun of Monica this morning because it is the same every time with Monica. She is a Karen. She actually is a Karen.
We want the minerals. As the United States and Trump wants the minerals.
And she kicked me out of the room and blocked me. And then all she does is complain about other people on this app that they blocked her. And so now I'm making fun of Monica.
Monica.
Harry Balzac is here in the other. To Monica's room where she's about a dumb Karen who took her dumb dog off the leash, and a dumb Schwarza fed the dog a treat, and they can't stop talking about it.
Goes, if you can't follow the rules, that's crazy. We're gonna be crazier. And this is what happens. This chick doesn't deserve to be an animal owner. This chick doesn't deserve to be an animal. She doesn't follow the rules in dogs whenever she gets caught.
So,
Sorry, she gets death threats for it. That's the internet, boo. Follow those. Mind your
you
P's and
just
Q's.
said earlier
Are
you
you-
didn't death threats, and now you're saying.
Are you surprised in a
Actually have
country?
death threats?
I know you're twisting words around. I
I'm
didn't
not.
say she didn't deserve it. I said that's what happens when you fuck. People are gonna react. And people are crazy. People are crazy.
Alright, so
I don't think it should
know.
come as a surprise that in a country where we made it up to abuse our animals and a misdemeanor to abuse our children, that people are going to get death threats for mistreating an animal. It's just not.
Alright.
Yeah, listen, we gotta know better as adults. Like this world is crazy. And if you're gonna here and start breaking the law, people are gonna catch up on it and then see you abusing your dog. Of course, you're gonna get it. If you're
She
upset because you
restrained her dog because he called her dog over to him.
that's not a restraint. That's abuse.
Well, she should have leashed her.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but she didn't.
He should
So.
not have offered her dog to the authorities to see if she would get a fine. That's where it should have stopped.
Happened. Actually, it should have stopped by
With
her
her
leashing her
leashing.
dog
Okay,
and walking away.
I'm not.
Why are we talking
you
about this
fighting
thing
me?
that happened like 5
It's
years
just
ago
because
or
it's just
something?
ridiculous. We aren't treating these people like adults. This is a grown woman. And she had a
Behave poorly.
It's retarded.
because you just told me because
This
you
is
just
our
told me
This is
one minute
completely
you
our
say
work.
that she doesn't deserve this and now you're
You
saying
did.
this. No, I didn't. I never
You said
said
she death threats.
I said I would never.
What I think is so interesting is that like Vero is taking the bait.